Hi guys, in this video I want to show you how to save a project after you finish working on it and how to rebuild it when you want to keep working on it. This could be a long time apart, and for this I will use my GitHub and I will use my SPI VHDL project, which I used in my SoC APB on ARTY tutorial. You can use whatever Git browser you like. I'm using a GitHub desktop. I'll copy the URL and I'll clone the repository in a directory I prepared. And I have my repository. Now before I start, I just want to show you how much space this project took on the version control. We can see that it took about 600 kilobytes. The full project, after compilation and bitstream generation and everything in software, will take about 300 to 400 megabytes. So this is a very small size to save on version control for a very large project. The next thing is to start generating the project. You see I have a lot of directories here. All my files are arranged in a certain manner. This is a manner that I find comfortable. If you like something else, this is a recommendation. And the Vivado project will be generated in the work directory. Here we don't have any project yet, we just have two scripts. Now we need to check those scripts to see in which version they were generated in. We see that it was 2021.2. Any other version won't start this script, will signal an error. So I have to open Vivado 2021.2 to generate this project. Now I open the Vivado and I will cd to my directory and source the project script. Now here the project was built from the script, but it's still missing the block design. So the block design was saved on a different script. So I'll source the block design script, and here we can see the Vivado actually drawing the block design from the script. Like I drew it by hand in my tutorial, here it's generated by the Vivado, exactly the same block design. And here is my project, the same as I left it in when I finished working on it. And now we can also see that this project now, when we still need to generate bitstream and everything else, is 12 megabytes. So we saved a lot of space in the version control. Now we can look at the way that I saved my project. I have a directory for everything that I have in my project: constraint, software, IP catalog, RTL, simulation, and work. Now the next thing I want to show you how to generate those scripts. The first script can be generated by using File, Project, and right tickle script. I'll go to where I want to save it. I want to save it under Work, and I will generate the script. And the script was regenerated, and it asks if you want to see it. Yes, I want to see it. Now in this script there are a few things we have to pay attention to. Every file that is needed for this project is here written in this script, and we see that it's under the directory of the main directory of the project, the SPI VHDL directory. Now all the IP catalog was saved in my IP directory. All my source code are in RTL, constrain, and the simulation, the test bench, is in the simulation files. Now we have two parts here. One part is this, every file that I add to this project and is in the project. Now remember that when you clone the project, there is no project, so every file that will be here will not be when you clone it, and the file and the script won't run. So you mustn't have any files here. All the files should be external to the project. Now if I generate a new file, for example, when I create a file, it's asked me, do I want to put it local to the project, or I want to choose location? If I want to choose location, I will choose RTL to generate. But now I won't do that, and I will show you that if I generate a new file called test, for example, and I'll do it in the project, and I will regenerate my script. You see that the test file was generated here in the project. When we finish and generating the project, this is a good opportunity to check if we generated scripts or files or anything in the project. Everything should be external. So now I'll remove this project, this file, and we look at IP catalog. When I'm generating an IP catalog, to direct the Vivado to the IP catalog where I will go to Setting, IP catalog, and here we have the IP location. Here again I can choose local to project, and the Vivado will generate the IP in the project. Again, I cannot clone it from there, so I have to direct it to my IP directory. When the project is saved to the Tickle script, it will have a full path here, which means when you reclone it in a different computer or in a different directory, it will still keep the old address for the IP catalog generation. So you have to go to Setting and change this to the local, to the right IP directory that you have for this project. Next is block design. When we generate a block design, it will ask us, where do you want to save it? Do you want to save it local to the project? You will choose no, and you will say, in this case, I'll put it in work. I'll generate it in work. And then the project, the block design directory, will be generated here. And then I can generate the file, the script file, to generate. If I generate it local to the project, the script file for the generation of the block design will not work. The Vivado is generating a little differently when you do it in the inside the project or outside the project. To have a good script that you can run anywhere, you must do it outside the project, and then the block design will be again outside the project and work. How to generate, after we finish the block design, how to generate the block design script? We'll go to File, Export, Export Block Design, direct the script to the right location here, and we'll generate it. And now we have a script here. that we can run from every project and use this block design and move this block design between projects. One annoying thing that I noticed in the last versions of Vivado is that while generating the script they have here the original dir where this block design will be saved. Now for some reason they added automatically the directory above where the block design is actually saved. So if I'll run this script as it is, it will generate here under work. I run it from work directory. It will generate a work directory, and under it, it will generate the block design. The Vivado don't care. It generates the block design. He knows it. But if we want to have it neat, we just need to remove this file. Now that we have all the things that we did in the project, everything is ready, the project is satisfactory, we want to save it. We generated the block design script, we generated the project script. Now the project script, remember, didn't have the block design in it. This we have to remove the instantiation of the block design manually, because this script looks for the, I'll just regenerate this script because I had the test in it. Here. Now inside the script, it's actually reading the block design file. Now the block design file itself is again under work, where inside the block design was not generated yet. We can save it as it is, and sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't. So I find it safer to look inside this script, look every place that the script is mentioned, the block design file, and remove it. From here, and from here, and that's it. There's no more block design in the file, so the file will generate the full project without the block design, and we will generate the block design with the special script. Now there is another option that I want to show you in Vivado, and this is to generate the full project with the block design in the project file. For this, I will go to File, Project again, and I will enable the Recreate Block Design using Tickle. When I enable this checksum, the project generated script, I'll change the name for full, the project generation script will include the block design, and while generating the project, it will also generate the block design. Here we have the new script, and as you can see, the block design doesn't appear here. When we looked for it here, it's appeared by actually making it the block design, and all the things from the block design are here. So now we can copy the full project and I'll call it full. I'll remove the old projects. I'll save the scripts and remove. And I will open another Vivado. cd to my directory. And this time I will only use the full project. As you can see, the block design is being created with the creation of the project, and everything is done at once. So now again I have the full project like I did before, but I don't and I didn't need to generate the block design separately. But if we look under the hood for the block design, we'll see that the block design is inside the project. You see work here. Under full, we see only project, but under the project we'll have a source file, and under the source file we have all the files of the BD, of the block design. So it actually generated it locally to the project. If you don't really care, it's a good way to do it, but if you need the block design for other simulation tools, again like Questa, like VCS, like anything else, it will be much safer to use the previous version, and it will also give you a chance to look again at your project here and see that you didn't left anything inside the project, and that all the files that you have in the project are really necessary, and you have every file that you need. Every file that you need to save is actually in your directory, in the place that the project will save it, because once we save it, we may sometimes rebuild it a month or a year later and it won't rebuild. So we have to check that all those files that are external to the project really are at the locations where they should be. And this stage I find it very useful, because a lot of time I see here stuff that I forgot, for example workarounds, debug files, wave files, and so on. One more thing is the software. A lot of time we have software that related to the project. Now the software, I can only need to save them, only the software, the C file, the C that I created. Once I have my project and I rebuild it, I can generate a bitstream, and all the software directory, I don't need it. I just need my software that I left when I built the project, and then I can rebuild it by exporting hardware, launching the VTs, and I have the software ready. I just import it to the place where I use it. And I hope you find this tutorial useful and interesting. Thank you and goodbye.